Welcome into Fired Up, the weekly recap where we cover all things Carthage athletics. I'm Justin Corrigan, and today's episode is for Monday, January 26th. We'll cover the last 2 weeks as we did not have an episode last week. So let's get things started with a team that got things started with the season in men's volleyball. Firebirds came into the season ranked number 2 in the country in the ABCA preseason polls and proved their ranking with a 4-0 start with 4 sweeps. Starting things off on January 13th, it was a 3-0 sweep at Lakeland, 29-27, 25-15, 25-19. Ben Heiss leading the way, 10 kills, 3 blocks, along with Joel Kolwitz's 35 assists, 6 digs, and 3 service aces. Firebirds then kicked off the home schedule on January 15th with a 3-0 sweep over Benedictine. That was a 25-18, 25-15, 25-22 victory. Ryan Monahan, 10 kills. Ruben Emmerich, 5 blocks, 2 service aces. Ryan Morey, 28 assists. And Austin Mallory with 11 digs. Then on January 20th, it was a 3-0 sweep at home against MSOE. The Firebirds were led by Ryan Bartz, 17 kills, 3 blocks. Ryan Morey, 28 assists. And Austin Mallory, 7 digs. Firebirds then hit the road on the 22nd with a 3-0 sweep at Concordia, Wisconsin. It was a 25-10, 25-23, 25-16 victory. Hudson Schweitzer, 12 kills, 2 blocks. Joe Kolwitz, 33 assists. Devin O'Callahan, 10 digs. And Ben Heiss with 3 service aces. Firebirds return home this Wednesday as they take on Aurora in Tarbell Arena at 7 p.m. Moving over to women's basketball on January 14th, it was a 73-70 road victory against the Blue Jays of Elmhurst University. Alyssa Orozco leading the way, 23 points, 10 rebounds. Malia Green, 16 points, 2 steals. And Grace Cord, 15 points and 8 rebounds. Then on January 17th, it was a 77-67 loss on the road at Milliken. Malia Green, 19 points, 5 steals, 3 assists. Alyssa Orozco, 17 points, 5 rebounds. Nora Aram, 10 points and 4 rebounds. Then on January 21st, the Firebirds returned home to take on number 13, Illinois Wesleyan. They lost 74-52 to the Titans. Malia Green leading the way, 23 points, 4 steals, 3 blocks, and 3 rebounds. Then on Saturday, the 24th, it was a 76-60 victory against Augustana here in Tarbell Arena. Nora Aram, 22 points, 5 rebounds. Malia Green, 17 points, 4 rebounds, and Grace Cord finished with 10 points. Firebirds return to action on Saturday as they travel to the Windy City to take on North Park at 2 p.m. Moving over to men's basketball on January 14th, it was a 103-66 win over North Park in Tarbell Arena. Riley Brooks leading the way, 30 points, 3 rebounds. AJ Johnson, 22 points, 3 steals. Antoine Nesbitt, 11 points, 5 assists, and Ryan Johnson with 11 points and 9 rebounds. Firebirds then returned to action on the road on the 17th with a 77-74 loss to Milliken. A couple notables: Griffin Dawn, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Brian Johnson, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. And Antoine Nesbitt, 11 points, 2 steals. Then on the 21st, it was a road loss at Elmhurst, 72-60 the final. Riley Brooks, 27 points, 5 rebounds. Ryan Johnson, 12 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. AJ Johnson, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Firebirds bounced back, however, on Saturday the 24th with a 75-60 win over Augustana. AJ Johnson leading the way, 22.7 rebounds. Riley Brooks, 19 points. Ryan Johnson, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Firebirds return to action on Wednesday as they hit the road for a pivotal CCIW matchup as they travel to Bloomington to take on Illinois Wesleyan at 7 p.m. Moving over to women's wrestling, they kicked things off on January 16th with a 41-7 loss against Wisconsin's Stevens Point. Karina Torres being the notable with a win by fall over Brie Martinez at 110. Then on Sunday the 25th, it was a 5th place finish for the team at the CCIW Championships in Elmhurst, Illinois. Kirsten Cortez leading the way with a 4th place finish at 103. Cortez is our Jersey Mike's Firebird of the Week. Be sure to visit Jersey Mike's at 3625 Market Lane in Kenosha or go to jerseymikes.com. Other 4th place finishes were for Karina Torres at 110 and Elena Hollandonner at 124. Firebirds return to action next Saturday, the February 7th, at the Division III National Invite in Rock Island, Illinois. Moving over to men's wrestling on January 16th, it was a 40-3 loss against Stevens Point. Zarin Anderson, the notable performance with a 14-7 decision at 157. Firebirds return to action the very next day at the Al Hankey Invite hosted by Elmhurst. Zarin Anderson taking first place at 157, while Chris Kish took second place at 125. Then on January 23rd, it was the CCIW duels for the Firebirds down in Elmhurst. Firebirds kicked things off with a 35-12 win over Illinois Wesleyan. Notable performances came from Chris Kish, Elijah Cepeda, Zarin Anderson, Maxwell Schmidt, CJ Gilbert, London Kaiser, and Elvis Muha. Then they bounced back later in the day with a 35-16 win over MSOE. Chris Kish, Zarin Anderson, London Kaiser, and Jared Werner were notable performances in the duel. Firebirds return to action on Friday, January 30th, as they take on Lakeland in Plymouth, Wisconsin at 7 p.m. Women's track and field returned to action on the Firebird First back on January 17th. It was a second place finish for the team. A couple notable performances were Mandy Nelson in the 800 meter with a time of 2:28.19, Savannah Perry in the 55 meter at 7.38, and Lily Townsend in the shot put with a throw of 12.82 meters. Then the Firebirds return to action on the 23rd at the Red Hawk Opener hosted by Ripon. Kylie Florence in the 3,000 meter was a notable performance at 11 minutes and 0.53 seconds. Cameron Lau in the 5,000 meter, 19:48.95. And Lila Unziker in the triple jump, 10.35 meters for her posted mark. Firebirds return to action this Saturday at the Whitewater Squid Converse in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Action begins at 11 a.m. Men's track and field got things started at the Firebird First on January 17th. It was the second win for the program on the year. A couple notable performances: Dylan Parker in the 400, 49.17. Harlan Matson in the mile, 429.96, and Micah O'Neill in the pole vault, 3.90 meters. Then it was a second place finish this past Saturday at the Red Hawk Opener in Ripon, Wisconsin. Tyler Rhodes in the weight throw leading the way, 19.10 meters. Harlan Matson in the mile, 426.56, and Hayden Rollins in the pole vault, 4.55 meters. Then at the Aurora Grand Prix on Saturday, Dylan Parker set a school record in the 400 meters with a time of 48.80 seconds. The previous record had stood since 2003. For this, Parker is our Jersey Mike's Firebird of the Week. Jersey Mike's located at 3625 Market Lane in Kenosha. Be sure to visit them today or go to jerseymikes.com. Firebirds return to action on Friday at the Squid Converse. Action begins at 11 a.m. in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Closing things out, women's swim and dive on the 17th hosted Illinois Tech. It was a 207-87 victory over Illinois Tech. Bree Skalski claimed wins in the 1,000 freestyle, 500 freestyle, and the 400 individual medley. Emily Belsick wins in the 100 and 200 freestyle. Jill Kane brought home victories in the 100 breaststroke and 200 medley relay. And Kendall Lesko swept the boards, winning both the 1 and 3 meter dives. Then on the 23rd, it was a dominant 163-37 road victory at Lawrence. Bree Skalski leading the way, 1,000 freestyle and 500 freestyle victories. Lois Klinger, 200 medley relay and 100 butterfly victories. And Jill Kane earning wins in the 200 medley relay and the 100 breaststroke. On the men's side, on the 17th, it was a 156.5 to 142.5 loss to Illinois Tech at home. Taden Murphy claiming wins on both the 1 meter and 3 meter dives. Tyson Polish with a 500 freestyle win, and AJ Landorf winning the 100 fly. Then on Friday, it was a 170 to 14 dominant victory over Lawrence on the road. Trey Hallis claiming wins in the 1,000 freestyle and the 100 backstroke. AJ Landorf, 200 medley relay, 200 freestyle, and 500 freestyle. Ian Glossa, 200 medley relay and the 200 individual medley. William Murray, 200 medley relay, 100 freestyle, and Tyson Polish, 200 medley relay and 100 breaststroke. Firebirds return to action this Friday and Saturday as they host the Wisconsin Private College Championships in the Konitzer Aquatic Center. That's going to conclude things for this week's episode of the Fired Up Weekly Recap. Tune in every week where we cover all things Carthage athletics. Until then, I'm Justin Corrigan saying thanks for watching and go Birds.